Hello guys, and welcome to this Ring of Honor wrap-up. Ring of Honor presented its first two shows of the year this weekend on Friday in Boston and on Saturday in Edison, the 11th and 12th. I'm going to kind of run them down, give you the results, some thoughts, if you want to listen to this for reference or just to see what happened. I'll probably be doing this for a lot of the shows this year. First, we start with Friday, the 11th, in Boston. The opener, Kenny King and Jason Blade over Pele Premu and Eddie Edwards. They open, the YRR have been making appearances in Ring of Honor, especially this weekend, and especially once we talk about yesterday. I'll save my thoughts for that. We moved on to Daisy Hayes over Alexis Thatcher. Hard punch, mind trip combo, I'm getting. Claudio Castagnoli over Ruckus. Ruckus missed the backflip. Claudio caught him in the big swing and European uppercut for the win. We moved on to Pooter. Jobbed out someone with a leg submission. Brian Danielson beats Brett Albright with the triangle choke in what was said to be a great match. Kevin Steen beat Kevin Steen beat the Necro Butcher with a package power driver on his chair after a brutal chair shot, and just really a brutal match, it says. If you want to know, I'm getting these results from the Ring of Honor message board. Intermission, came back from intermission. Delirious beat Sal Renaro with the Cobra Stretch. We moved on to Roderick Strong beat El Generico with the Gibson driver. We moved then Austin Aries and Eric Stevens went to a double countout. Stevens had them restart the match and beat Aries with the Doctor Bomb. And again, said to be an awesome match. And finally, the main event was the ultimate endurance. Jigsaw and, I'll go through the elimination here. Jigsaw got out after an Albright half Nelson. It turned into a no disqualification match, which saw BJ Whitmer and Jimmy Jacobs take out Spikes and have a standoff, and then they spike the Briscoes. Both Briscoes bled. Mark brought out a ladder, the tall one from the Man Up show, sets up on the outside, does a snooker dive onto BJ for the 1-2-3. The Briscoes versus Age of the Fall for the belts. Age of the Fall win after a contra code from Jacobs, followed by a Phoenix Splash from Tyler Black, and what was said to be a really great match. Looking at the show, I do think it kind of broke the mold of, Ring of Honor has of, the first show of the year not being up to the, the bar that Ring of Honor sets. From the looks of it, the main event looks phenomenal. Age of the Fall makes, a solid defense, and the Briscoes' first defense was Ultimate Endurance back at the Battle of St. Paul, so they're kind of mimicking the Briscoes here. But that looked, again, to be an awesome match, and another big story coming out of this is Eric Stevens beating Austin Aries. They did the double countout, and they had Stevens restart the match. It always comes off to me like Stevens wants to prove himself, and you'd probably have to see it on tape to see how it came off on DVD. But whenever Austin Aries is great. It's a shame they kind of telegraphed it though, with the FIP title being on the line, considering Aries doesn't wrestle down there a lot. So the finish was never in doubt, and I think it would have benefited more from not being an FIP title match. And the same goes for the next night, but it says here awesome match. The last two matches on the show delivered, so hopefully this show kind of comes off worth buying on DVD. Strong Generico and Danielson, Albright, Steen, Necro, they all look like good matches and got good reviews from as far as results go. So yeah, this looks like to be a solid show. Storyline wise, I think more happened on the next night, and we'll get to that because there's not many notes here on any storyline advancement. Pooter made his debut over some jobber, and that would be it for the 11th. We moved on to Saturday in Edison. We started off with the Young, Rich, and Ready of Sal Renaro, Jason Blade, and Kenny King defeating Delirious, El Generico, Mike Quackenbush, when Delirious was hit with a crutch, and Jason Blade got the pin. Next, Sweet and Sour came out, with the exception of Bobby Dempsey. They announced the $1,000 Pooter Submission Challenge. Pooter went through Alex Payne and Rhett Titus. Then Larry Sweeney announced that Chris Hero and Sarah Del Rey are now the Intergender World Tag Team Champions. They defended the belts against Ernie Osiris and Alexa Thatcher, and beat them. They squashed them to retain the Intergender World Tag Team Championships. Roderick Strong beat Jigsaw with a new submission hold. It says here it resembled a backwards figure 4. We moved on. Jimmy Jacobs beat Jack Evans by guillotine choke. Claudio Castagnoli defeats Austin Aries after 2 Ricola bombs. It says Aries was playing heel throughout the match. Claudio called out Pooter, saying he wanted to take the $1,000 challenge. Claudio puts up the $1,000 of his own money to take on Pooter. Pooter cannot make Claudio tap, so Sweeney attacks Claudio with a chair and steals his money. Intermission. We came back from intermission. BJ Whitmer and Shane Hagedorn defeated Bobby Fish and Eddie Edwards. Kevin Steen beats Brent Albright with the package power driver. And FIP World Heavyweight Championship. Eric Stevens defeats Bryan Danielson following a restart just like last night. It ended with a double countout, and he pinned Danielson with the Dr. Bomb. Main event, the Age of the Fall versus the Briscoes ends in a no contest. Jay got injured during a spot with a ladder, and EMTs came out to attend to him. The Vulture Squad, Evans and Jigsaw came out, brawled with Black and Necro, and they ended up winning. They beat the Age of the Fall. Again, that wasn't for the belts because it was Necro and Black, but the last word on Jay was that he was helped to the back. Now, addressing Jay's injury, I also read that Necro was the one to call for the EMTs, so, you wish him the best. And, spot with a ladder kind of gives us back to what Gabe was saying about not ever booking a ladder war match again. And, you can't complain about it too much because I think things will happen, and, you can't tell when someone's going to get injured off a spot. They brought the ladder out last night. No one got injured. They did it tonight. Someone got injured. It's give and take, and I don't think you can complain a lot, but really best wishes got to Jay. Hopefully a speedy recovery. But the big story tonight was Eric Stevens pins Bryan Danielson. Eric Stevens had a huge weekend, probably his biggest weekend in Ring of Honor. It does look like he's going to get a push this year. And he finished Danielson the same way as Aries with the restart after the double countout and pinned him with the Dr. Bomb. And this kind of will make people a little bit more mad if they don't like Eric Stevens. Pinning Danielson is a huge deal. And I think some of it kind of takes away from when Jacobs pinned Danielson, but not too much. I think Stevens, it was telegraphed that he was going to win because, the FIP title was on the line. But it's just that you never really wanted to believe it. Kevin Steen, again, another person with a huge weekend, defeating Brent Albright tonight and then Necro the previous night. There are rumors saying that he might be leaving, taking a leave of absence, and he gets 2-0 this weekend. And the other big story, the other two, Claudio beating Austin Aries. Aries was playing the heel throughout the match, going on a heel turn, and Claudio, big win over Aries. And, even the opener with Renaro, Blade, and King beating Delirious, Generico, and Quackenbush, that's huge. I'm sure no one ever thought it. I never in a million years would I have thought that would happen. But again, it seems like I haven't seen much of the Wire RR, but hearing good things, and, again, all for that. So, and of course, the Intergender Tag Team titles, Chris Hero is a god. But, that's just my opinion on him. So overall, that's the wrap-up for this weekend. 2 shows down the drain in 2008. Seemed like 2 pretty solid shows to open the year. 2 really good Stevens matches and 2 good Danielson matches. The main events with the tag team main events look pretty good. Jay getting hurt, obviously, is a downer on things. But, I think we move on. The 25th and 26th, the 25th being headlined by a Hero McGuinness cage match, and then the 26th, if Nigel is still champion, he will face Roderick Strong, but if he does lose the title, Nigel will still face Roderick Strong, but in a steel cage. So that's going to wrap it up for this Ring of Honor wrap-up. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you after the 25th and 26th.